Michael Wagner. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day today, buddy. And I'm looking forward to meeting you, so I'm passing you the ball. Just like who beat Duke? Villanova?
There we go. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I could hear you, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you?
It's very nice to meet you, Mike. You know, you could share your screen if there's anything you wanted to show, like some instruments or your website, you know, your setup, what you look at. Okay, so here are some of the things you have to talk about. Okay, so I found Mike on Twitter, and must have been some tweet that attracted me, and I'm glad I reached out to you, Mike. And it looks like you have a new Twitter handle. You're starting to build some type of consulting business. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, long story short, and I can touch on Twitter and Facebook, because I worked for software startups for the past 20 years. My whole career has been in business development, marketing for Series A, B, C, venture-backed startups.
Okay. All right. So now you're one.
So yeah. So I started trading back when I was 15ish, and
okay, great. That's usually where I start, Mike. So go ahead. Tell us about your beginnings, how you got involved, and who influenced you, and who do you blame for introducing you to trading?
Sure. Well, that would be family. Like I said, about 15 or so, I was given a small inheritance and told, hey, this is for college. Might not be enough, so trying to teach me responsibility in the market. They kind of turned the reins over to me with the guidance. We had a lot of friends of the family who we lived about 2 hours away in Wisconsin from Chicago, but a lot of these guys traveled down to work, you know, the CDOE.
Okay, are you from Chicago?
Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But a lot of these guys would go down for the week.
Yeah, they used to take, I knew traders from Milwaukee that would take the train in every day from Milwaukee to Chicago. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And so I, you know, back then, you know, you didn't have this wealth of information at a click of a finger. I got my start, handed a bunch of books by, I remember the first ones I read were Peter Lynch, you know, Fundamental Analysis. And I basically just read everything I could. Over the years, as information has become more readily available to everybody, you know, I moved and gravitated more towards technical analysis. Pretty much focused on that, unless I'm doing a stock screen for, you know, particular value plays. We're pretty much just stick to technical analysis now. You know, I've been through 2 bubbles. I definitely think we're in a, like most, well, I think a lot of people, a credit bubble right now. And so when I started feeling that about a year ago, another friend and fellow trader down in Austin, who I've known for well over a decade, Renato, we started talking, and that's where we're in the process of shifting my then consulting website, which is really just no more than just like a online business card, but moving it in towards just a free resource for more people to interact and chat who are just serious about trading. So we're in the process of doing that at Wags Consulting.
Okay. All right. So you're talking about this credit bubble, and you have some things to show how exacerbated it was from 2008, right? Is that what you're trying to show?
Well, can you see this
Yes.
photo here? Okay,
Yeah.
this I grabbed, it was from an article, I think from the Wall Street Journal that crossed my Twitter feed last night at some point, and it was basically just comparing what has changed and what hasn't since 2008, which I remember very well because it, even having been through the first bubble, you know, I was caught off guard a little bit. Not initially, but it was sort of the second wave that I was more caught off guard. And I think that could happen right now, as I think Blake or you mentioned. You know, a lot of the indices and indicators are sitting at, you know, pretty significant levels. You know, I'll just bring up the SPY.
So do you trade indexes, index futures, or what are you doing in the market? What are you telling people to do?
Sure.
Just get defensive and raise cash and be more concerned about return of equity instead of return on equity?
You know, I'm usually always in the market unless there isn't a good trade setup. I don't feel the need to be making trades that often. I prefer swing trading.
Okay, can you show us your screen that you swing trade off of?
Sure.
So we kind of know what you use to compel you to take risk.
Sure. In the upper left here, I'll just focus. You know, I've been watching the minis all morning, well, since last night.
All right. Well,
you know,
I'm not. You have to show that screen. I'm just seeing you scuba diving or snorkeling right now.
Okay. 1 second.
So you stop the screen share and then you restart it on. There we go. Okay.
There. Move that over.
Okay, got it.
There we go. So here's just a 15. You know, I've just been watching minis just consolidate sideways, basically. But it's a little tougher to see here, like a daily. But as you know, many people are talking about, we're at very critical levels here. 200, we've tapped it a few times. We have other horizontal support. And if we don't really see a reaction at this point, if we start slipping, you know, there's a good chance we could go another 10% down very quickly to, say, the 23% fib from the 09 lows.
Where does that come in?
That comes in at...
And I like these charts. What's a chart service?
This is Thinkorswim.
Oh, okay.
From TD.
Yeah.
So this actually does run back farther, but
so it's around 2340 is 23% back.
Yeah. And you know, and that's just the 23%. I'll pull out the weekly here. You know, this has been, you know, a historic run, really. You know,
yeah, I'd say so.
You know, we can't even come back to the 38 or even 50, given the fact that we are experiencing, you know, environment and economy, not just in the U.S., but worldwide, you know, historic amounts of leverage. You know, started in 2001-ish, you know, with quantitative easing.
Mike, I think I saw a margin debt. Is that what you're referring to? The leverage in margin debt in the stock market?
Yeah, that's one example. But
yeah, well, I'm just saying that one example of margin debt is still not at you know, what we would call, you know, what previous highs. There was, you know, there was more margin debt, I think, in 08 and 99 than there is now. But we're not that far away either. So, you know,
Yeah.
you're talking about consumer debt right here. Yeah, I've read that most American families don't have enough saved to be okay without a month or two of income.
Yeah, and
this is why.
Yeah, it's consumers, and it's the you know, the government banks around the world. Just that amount of credit in the system and divergence between the price of assets and real GDP is just concerning.
Okay. So credit card debt is not quite as high as it was in 08, but
no.
Auto loans and student loans are astronomical. How about mortgage? Has mortgage debt recovered to the 08 levels or surpassed it? Do you know that?
I don't know.
No. Okay, no is a fine answer. You know how many people have a hard time saying, "I don't know"?
Yeah.
Or I was wrong. You ever see that on Twitter? I don't know, and I was wrong. Say it. It's very cathartic.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to. You know, I don't.
I hear what? I've been wrong 1 million times. See? It's not that hard. I'm just mentoring you here, buddy. All right, so I'm trying to get the idea of, you know, your business model. Are you going to have like a newsletter or a trading room? Is it going to, what type of free service are you developing? What's your vision?
Yeah, the vision right now is a dedicated Slack channel for group members to interact with, and then Renato and I can segment that a little more between people who say just strictly trade Forex or futures or options.
What kind of channel are you talking about?
A Slack channel.
Okay, I have no idea. Can you show me what a Slack channel is?
Here. Oh, Slack here.
Slack. Okay. It's similar to like a YouTube channel?
No, it's actually a messaging thread.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Let me pull it over here. There we go.
Okay.
So there can be a Forex. There's nothing in here right now. Futures, off-topic options, trade ideas. It's just a message thread.
Nice.
It's a way for people to.
Are you excited about Loyola? I just saw a tweet there or something. Are you excited about Loyola being in the NCAA Final Four?
I don't think that was me.
Okay, it was someone in your channel. Anyway, so there we just saw a picture of you, Mike. You want to scroll back a little bit? There you are.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay. Would you give this man $1 million? What do you think?
Yeah, like that. I actually used that my Twitter handle for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, that's
because
Sesame Street character.
Oh, that's the Muppets. That's
Muppets. Oh, see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Henson.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. I kind of have a vibe from you that, you know, we're living in some precarious times. Financial markets are vulnerable here. You know, you're covering Forex. Do you have a view on the dollar here?
Yeah, here, let me pull that one over. Now I shifted focus the last couple months, and focusing more on just the futures markets, just because they were getting a little more interesting.
Yeah.
But you know, I was watching. You know, I particularly I liked cable, Aussie, Kiwi, and Euro. Those are some of the pairs I always traded.
Okay.
Even back here in fall, I was looking for a potential, you know, here's a left shoulder, right shoulder, head, a potential break for the Dixie here, and it never came to fruition. And then once we broke that 91 handle, we just haven't been able to crack back up. And unless it can recover, let me scroll out a little here. The next support, this is a weekly, is could be down around here.
84, yeah. A lot of people talking that.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting, especially given, like the 10-year. I was watching it last night. I actually went long a little because it was coiling, popped through resistance. We'll retest this morning. But it popped up to this, longer term trend line here. And even going farther and farther back, if we pop through that, what is that going to mean for equities like, we'll say, the S&P that we were just looking at, that are also sitting on critical support levels?
So what do you think would happen? Okay, so what do you think would happen if the bonds continue to rally, yields fall? Couldn't that also be viewed as supportive of equities, because what kicked off the whole thing was a strong NFP and fear of higher rates? So now, it doesn't matter, because we're in a correction, in a kind of a bear market, bull market correction, where there's a lot of bearish stuff going on, trade wars. No matter what the reason is, it becomes bearish, because before it was bearish because yields were going up. Now it's bearish because yields might be going down.
Correct.
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, you're exactly right. Especially yesterday. We saw people moving into bonds for a flight to safety. That isn't what
it ain't like
on.
Yeah, it's not like the old days, the flight to safety, but
No.
Definitely a move in there. So, so you're trading futures. Now let me. You're going to have this channel. What's your goal? To have build a community, have subscribers, have a signal service? You're not just a humanitarian trying to win the Nobel Peace Prize, are you?
No. Let me pull it up here. So right now it's free. We're going to keep it that way for a while.
Okay.
But we want serious, just people who just want a close-knit community to bounce ideas off of and further get ideas for hopefully years to come. So a close-knit community down the road. Between Renato and I, we have 40 years combined of trading stocks, options, Forex, futures. So we have both run into a lot of people, especially towards the end of last year. It really picked up, probably because of the crypto craze, of beginners who, they want to learn trading, which is also a little scary, because it also can, from a sentiment standpoint, a social standpoint, kind of hint towards maybe the top of the market's getting a little frothy, when everybody under the sun is, hey, I want to learn more about technical analysis. I've been trading 1 month cryptocurrencies. That I was flooded with inquiries of that in November and December. In fact, I think that's maybe, I did a technical analysis of Bitcoin back when it first took a dive, and it got a lot of attention because I even wrote this. I did this for somebody else, somebody else's forum, cryptocurrency forum, and I just applied basic technical analysis. I'm like, look, to me, I can kind of see a left shoulder, a right shoulder, a head. This is the neckline. You're looking for a measured move. And then I applied some Fibonacci's to it. And I said, well, you can see this is the original red. I'm like, well, I could see it coming down to the, 4,800 to 6,000 area. And we already tagged the 6,000.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and we got that bounce last week that's just, trying to hold it above your trend line. Well, Mike, I could tell, after having conducted many of these, I could tell when someone knows and has some skills, and you do. And you're my trading warrior brother, and I want to wish you a lot of success in the markets, and for people that are going to be part of your community, that you guys all plant good seeds and support each other in good and bad times. And really, it's been a pleasure to meet you, and I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for reaching out.
Okay, Mike, so the best place for people to reach you is still at your Twitter account or new Twitter, or do you have a web address for Wags Consulting you want to share?
Yep, it's wagsconsulting.com.
Okay, Wags. Thanks so much. Great to meet you, Mike, and keep in touch, and appreciate you taking time out of the day to speak to our community.
No, it was fun. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Happy trading
Good
today.
Yeah, good hunting. Good hunting, Mike. That's
right.
it, F.A.C.E. See everyone for Thursday. I have Chris Capri at Second Skies Forex as a guest, and we're live streamed tomorrow on investing.com. Have a great day trading. See you in the other chat. Good hunting, and most of all, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. This is Dale Pinkert signing off, saying good hunting for the rest of the day, my trading warrior brothers.